Hi there! Another channel update so soon after the last one. I wanted to make this because there are a few changes and new ideas I want to try out. Today's game in the background is Warframe. First, I have been wanting to start a series about books and mini-stories in games. It would basically just be me reading out the book inside a game that has them, but I thought that it could be interesting. Would you watch it? It would be once a week. I'm still in the process of working out how to show it off. Possibly keep game audio in the background and add the book text in the foreground. There are a lot of books in a lot of games like Ion, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online and so on. In Elder Scrolls I had it as part of the series itself, but now that I have the add-on that saves each book, I could use it for a separate series instead, and focus more on the gameplay in the game's main series. Second idea I already mentioned in the previous channel update. This is the weekly series for card games. It would include any card game that I find that seems interesting. A few examples would be Hearthstone, Shadowverse, and Prismata. And let me know of any other cool card games that you would like to see. If you have followed the schedule sheet, there's also a change to the schedule. I decided to go back to one MMO and one playthrough series at a time, instead of doing two separate ones every other day. MMOs will change between commentated and non-commentated series, and playthroughs change between long and short playthroughs. Short playthroughs are series for games up to approximately 20 hours of playtime. The season length stays at 10 hours for each series. Once I can get these series up on a daily basis as I want them to be, you will see series switching fairly often. There are so many games I still want to showcase. A few series which haven't been on the channel since who knows when will hopefully return soon. One such series is Warframe Mayhem. I have wanted to bring that back for months now, but never got around to properly recording it. Even a rank up is still waiting. I want to keep Idle Weekly more active and of course Rogue Tuesdays. Whenever you have games that you want me to cover in these weekly series, please let me know and I might add them to my lists. Oh, almost forgot. I would also like to make coverage previews a little more often. I don't know how often yet, but probably at least one episode every 1 or 2 weeks. Before I go, I would like to say a few words about someone I have been following for a very long time. John Bain, or better known as TotalBiscuit, passed away on the 24th of May. I have consumed his work for about 13 years now, all the way back to WoW Radio days, especially Blue Blaze. Public news, rubbing the forums and all that stuff was pretty fun. Blue Blaze was also semi-informative. I think that's how DB's content always was. It was entertaining, but at the same time giving as much information to you as possible. In general, he put the consumer before companies, especially when companies try to do bad things or sell you a terrible game. He was direct and blunt about all that. He was, and still is, nice to listen to. Many smaller games made it fairly big thanks to him making a video about them, or talking about them. There were even games that a lot of people thought were bad, but he really liked, like Brink. I also liked Brink, it was an interesting game, although maybe a bit too few maps. Even games like Warframe or Renowned Explorers were put onto a lot of people's radar after he made a video about them. Oh, and the podcasts. Funny thing about the podcasts is that every episode I add at least 1 or 2 games mentioned to my wishlist. So I either like similar games to them or they just mention games that I happen to like. I like all genres after all. DB was also a very big supporter of esports, most known for trying to keep StarCraft 2 alive. I tend to not be interested in the high level play and find it more interesting to watch lower leagues, In StarCraft 2 talk, something like bronze or silver is fun. But there are a few people who make the high-level plays more interesting to watch. And one of them is TB. He was one of the most influential personalities and critics in the gaming industry, and worked hard to make it a better place and wanted people to take it at least a little bit more seriously. While he wasn't the sole reason, he was one of the people who got Dark Souls to come on PC, for example. He's probably the reason why we have colorblind settings in more games than ever before. Plenty of companies or developers have even changed their ways because he talked about them and their actions in a negative way. But other than that, he was nearly always positive about games. When I followed his numerous different first impression series like WDFEs, irresponsible reviews, 50 minutes of game and so on, then you'll know how enthusiastic he really was about gaming. There are many more things that you could say about him. As someone said, John Bain accomplished more in 33 years than most of us will accomplish in 66 years combined. He will be missed. A lot of people will miss him, including myself. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you another time.
Broken. Well done. Now get to extraction. Even though the mission was aborted, you are all safe. That means we won today.